Hi everyone, today I wanted to walk you through a few fairly short and easy grinds you can be doing in Dragonflight if you find yourself running low on ideas to keep you busy and want to work towards a goal like unlocking a new mount or a pet. All of these ideas in this video revolve around cosmetic grinds, so be mindful that none of these things will help you with player power. This video is more for players who have reached their seasonal goals and are looking for other things to do during content downtime. And of course, if there's something I haven't mentioned in this video that you think would be a good idea for a menial grind in WoW, please do leave a comment down below. The first grind that is super simple to get started with are time rifts. Time rifts are new to patch 10.15 and they offer a bunch of cosmetic rewards for completing an event once per hour. Since the events are only once per hour, and each time rift usually only takes roughly 10 to 15 minutes, they shouldn't be too laborious to do as and when you have time, or you could set reminders to come and grind out as many of them as possible. It's up to you. My best tip for getting the most out of time rifts is to complete one on as many ults as you can, because each character will have access to one guaranteed encapsulated destiny per week, with Chromie's daily quest at the every when in. Encapsulated Destiny is a new item that will give you a buff when used to guarantee a reward from completing a time rift. This could be a transmog appearance, a pet, a mount, or a gear piece. Also, be sure to pick up the weekly quest from Sorodormi once per week on your account for a bunch of rewards simply for completing your first time rift of the week on that character. This will help the grind go much faster. If you're looking for a full breakdown of how time rifts work, what rewards you can get from them, and some tips on how best to farm them, I have a guide video to that linked in the description below. If you're already familiar with time rifts, you can also work on increasing your reputation with Sorodormi by grinding out as many mobs during each event as possible, and simply by attending as many time rifts as you can on a given character. Sorodormi offers a few decent rewards at each of her rep levels, including a toy, a greater encapsulated destiny which guarantees a mount or a pet from your next time rift, a transmog set, the unparalleled title, and more. You could also spend time during each time rift working on specific achievements, such as the Temporal Acquisitions Specialist, which tasks you with finding specific quest items during various time rift events that can drop from mobs, be picked up from quest NPCs, or simply found on the ground during either phase of a given time rift. Handing each of these into Sorodormi will then reward you with the Boffins toy. This is a nice achievement to work towards if you're finding time rifts to be super repetitive, as you can add an element of treasure hunting to each event. There are a total of 7 mounts you can earn from time rifts, either by getting them to drop from final bosses, or by purchasing them for 3,000 paracausal flakes each. However, there are 2 mounts that are faction specific, the White Warwolf for Horde, and the Ravenous Black Griffin for Alliance. However, there is a feature with these mounts that will let the user gift the mount to a member of the opposite faction, in addition to learning the mount themselves. I wouldn't hold out hope for this unless you have a friend on the opposite faction who can help you, so my best tip here is to farm time rifts on at least one Horde and one Alliance character each. That way, you can either buy each faction specific mount yourself, or have a chance of getting them to drop for you. There are also a good handful of pets available from time rifts, as well as transmog appearances, so there's plenty of cosmetics to be had if time rifts are appealing to you. Another new addition to patch 10.15, which makes for a nice, relaxing and low maintenance grind, is the Whelp Daycare in Valdrakken. This feature doesn't involve any mounts, but you can get a whole host of pets from it instead. If you haven't seen the Whelp Daycare before, you should receive a quest on any max level character called Eggs in Abundance. This is your intro quest line that will get you started with the daycare, and it shouldn't take you very long. Once the daycare is set up, you'll start receiving quests from the daycare NPCs each day that will range from collecting a new whelp egg of each dragonflight colour to bring to the nursery, to daily quests including a game of hide and seek, setting up habitats for each whelp, tidying the daycare, dragon riding with your whelps, and completing easy pet battles. There is very minimal combat involved in any of these daycare quests, so they are a nice change of pace for anybody looking for a low pressure job in WoW to keep them busy for a short time. Eventually, you'll be rewarded with each whelp as a companion pet to add to your collection, before being prompted to go and bring your next whelp until your daycare is full. You'll also pick up a few other pets along the way, such as Iggy the Earth Elemental, and an enchanted book pet too. Along the way, you'll also be awarded with small amounts of polished pet charms and other pet battle items like bandages. Once you get these daycare quests rolling, they shouldn't take you longer than 15 to 20 minutes to complete, and since they are mostly daily quests, there's only so much you can do on a given day, so it makes for a nice short grind to occupy yourself if you have a moment to spare. Another easy grind you can chip away at during downtime in WoW are some of the Dragonflight mount grinds. One that I've been enjoying recently is the Coveted Bauble mount grind in the Zaralek Caverns, which is pretty simple to work towards just by completing the Researchers Under Fire weekly quest, and by working on a few public events every now and then in the Zaralek Caverns. Unless you really want to push for as many unearthed fragrant coins as possible, I would recommend mainly focusing on doing the weekly event and only a handful of public events each week. The public events can be quite time consuming as you'll likely be participating on your own. The quickest public events to do alone are the Crystalline Survey, which just involves killing as many elementals in the area as possible until the progress bar is full. Monument Maintenance is pretty short and just asks you to pick up a few pieces of a broken statue and return them. And the Hungry Hydra event also shouldn't take too long, as you only need to kite mobs into the Hydra to get them to be eaten. Public events to avoid doing on your own are the Whirling Zephyr, Stress Express, and Smell Incense. Having more players around to work on this together makes these go by much faster, and usually each public event only awards between 1 to 3 unearthed fragrant coins each, so some are simply not worth the time investment to do alone. Unearthed fragrant coins can then be traded in to Spin Sower in Loam in exchange for coveted baubles, which are then used to purchase cosmetics from Sakratos, the vendor next to Spin Sower. There are 2 mounts available from this feature, which are the Subterranean Mag Mammoth and the Igneous Shale Wing, and in total you'll need to farm 500 unearthed fragrant coins to purchase them both. There is also the Diamond Shell Battle Pet available for another 50 coveted baubles if you wanted to add that to your collection as well. Another Zaralek Caverns grind you can do to boost your collection is the Bartering system. For this, you need to be at least Renown level 3 to unlock Bartering, and then at Renown level 12 you unlock Barter Boulders, which are the currency you need to purchase your Bartering cosmetics. Bartering is a nice slow-paced grind to do because it is somewhat time-gated. The main way to earn Barter Boulders is by completing Sniff and Seeking scenarios with Mirrit, which can only be done a maximum of 3 times per week per character. To be able to participate in a dig, you need to give Mirrit a dig map, and these can come from the Zaralek Caverns weekly quest, and you can also purchase one from Ponzo, the bartering vendor, in exchange for barter bricks. Mirrit should always have the last dig map on him already, so you only need to hand in 2. To maximize the barter boulders you get from each dig, be sure to thoroughly check the whole scenario while carrying Mirrit and use his sniffing ability until you find a treasure whiskers. These have a chance to drop a quest item that can then be handed in to an NPC in Loam for a handful of barter boulders. You may also find barter bricks or boulders in the main chest at the end of each scenario, but these are not guaranteed. If you have any barter bricks laying around, you can trade these into Ponzo in exchange for barter boulders, and the bricks don't really amount to anything, so just use them to boost your barter boulder number. Also, if you've maxed out your renown with the Niffin, you can also buy barter boulders for 250 Dragonale supplies each from Harlow Marl in Loam to make this grind even faster. The boulder haul amount costs 85 barter boulders, and the Thimble Rig pet costs 45, so you'll need 130 barter boulders in total. The final Zaralek Caverns mount grind I would recommend to keep you busy is the Big Slick in the city. Big Slick is a pink crystalline snail you can work on unlocking once you've made it to Renown 7 with the Niffin, which opens up snail racing. You should get an intro questline prompting you to visit Glimmerog in the south of the Zaralek Caverns to start your quest chain to unlock Big Slick. This will involve 1 daily quest each day to increase your reputation as a Glimmerog racer until you max it out. You can do this just with the daily quest if you like, but to make it faster, you can also show Briggle a handful of level 25 snail battle pets for an extra boost of rep. If you'd like to see how this feature works in more detail and get a couple of tips for farming the snail battle pets if you don't have them already, check out my Big Slick mount guide in the description below. So there we have it. Those are my top 5 grinds I would recommend getting stuck in with if you haven't done so already, and if you're looking for ways to occupy yourself in WoW during content downtime and earn some nice cosmetics. Let me know which grinds you get involved with in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, have a wonderful rest of your day, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye!